Hello, everyone. Welcome to the online writing workshop, Pencil and Sword. I'm Arkudel, and I'm here to guide you along in your writing today. Before we start, let me go over with what we do every day. This is a graduate school project designed at developing a powerful online writing community. People who come together, write together, and improve their writing together. This week, we've been dealing with a lot of social topics. In particular, given the state of the situation in America right now, we were talking about our teachers. Yesterday, I wrote a story about one of my high school teachers named Mr. Graybill, and I wrote from his perspective. Today, I'm going to write about one of my math teachers, Mr. Harding, who was a huge inspiration for me, partially through fear, actually, but a lot of his dedication and the way that he thought, I've incorporated into my teaching style these days. I make jokes with my students, sometimes threaten themselves, but jokingly there. But we're going to talk about that a little bit. For today, I would like to do at least one short story and one poem or an essay or something regarding teachers. Um, I would love for you guys to join me in this. Write whatever you would like. A teacher who inspired you, a time that you studied, and a time that you were inspired. And what's going to happen is you can see me writing over here on the left. You can see my own writing in real time. You can also write in my chat if you have any questions or anything you'd like to talk about. I'm happy to talk while I write. Um, it's become a unique skill, but a very valuable one. And when we come back in about 15, 20 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, depends, we're going to have the opportunity to share. You can share over in my chat, and I will read it for you. Or you can jump into my Discord channel. The link is down below, and you can share that live. Like you can actually talk to me like a Skype thing, and you can share your piece, and we can all listen to it. That being said, again, let's take 15 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that, and let's write a piece about one of the teachers who inspired us. Thank you all for joining me today. Let's do this. I'm going to put on a little bit of music. That helps me process and think, but don't be a stranger. Go ahead and talk to me. Uh, we'll get we'll get rolling. So confusing for me because if you see my dates, I have February 8th there and February 8th there, but the reason is I'm on a different time schedule than all of you guys, so, well, most of you. So, let's get rolling. Mm, Career as an educator. Bradley Harding achieved the status of a local legend. Tiny high school, serving some 300 students, including attached middle school. The community itself. His current crop of students, but in many cases, their parents as well. To the shoulders. bearded and bespectacled. Pressure emanated. One M and emanated. Learn new things every day, or things I should have known a long time ago. Waves of pressure emanated from the gaze. She cast it across the room, silencing opposition. Heads bowed. His pencils scratched. Quadratic equations. Perfect handwriting. Perfect and neat? I guess that doesn't work. Perfectly neat, I don't like the adverb. Perfect handwriting. No less handwriting. There we go. No less tolerated. It's not for the score. Students worked. The twist. Placable expression. Ugh, spelling is not my friend today. Oh well. That's what Bill Gates is for. Resembling annoyance that would precipitate disaster. Advocate of hand of long form math. Calculators. Forbidden. All cases. Save those the human mind would fail with it. God help those skewed or more savory expeditions. Sports. Dates. Sheer laziness. All met the hammer. Justice is meted. Name was whispered. grudging respect. Even the students define their image through their resistance. Stepped lightly. Mr. Harding's classroom. I'm gonna switch this song. Okay. Let's see. His name was whispered with fear that echoed through the hallways in a grudging respect. Grudging respect. Even the students who defined the image to their resistance stepped lightly in Mr. Harding's classroom. Now, as for me, sized me up in an instant. First day I met him. Knowing his legend, raced for the back. Simply, some fights did not pick. Some storms cannot weather. Do not pick. Alright. Instincts that carried so far. Carried me that far. There's no storm. Mr. Harding is an apocalypse. Get up here, he said, staring down at me through the thin silver rims of his glasses. Get up here, he said, staring down at me through the thin silver rims of his glasses. Your spot is in the front. What's your name? He asked. James. Caught aback. Teachers had a tendency to let me go. In the beginning, at least. For they are hiding in plain sight. Teachers had a tendency to let me go. In the beginning, at least. I preferred the art of hiding in plain sight. Classmates. Jane. Cleared. Calm. Sharp reply. Everyone. Some Smitty. I suppose. To start. One. Smitty. Take a desk in the front. It's nice to meet you. Turn much the same. Lens. Waiting for my friend. Level of betrayal in his eyes. Though he did not know. What extent? No one did. Could. The storm had only just breached. We'll work with this for a few more minutes, everybody. Then I have a couple other activities for us to deal with today. Mr. Hart began his lecture. Deletes algebraic. Yeah, I have no idea. Let's work with it. Algebraic. Mr. Harding began his lecture, moving into the use of algebraic form. In my mind, began to wander towards pleasant things. His was the final class. I considered that invitation. His was the final class of the day, and I considered that an invitation towards laziness, towards what? His was the final class of the day, and I considered that an invitation towards, I already have, wander towards space. Gills. Suddenly. Snap to attention. Dreams of video games shattered. colorless world. Snap back. It's the answer to number 3. 17. Stammered. Crying only. The answer is in the realm of possibility. Mr. Harding paused. Silence. She nodded his head. Emperor. Declaring succor. Mercy. Said. Sank into my chair. I survived. Day I could think about. Smithy! It's the answer to number 7. He really did this to me. Which sounds terrifying, actually. It sounds completely terrifying as a student, and it was. It shocked the hell out of me. But after that, I never spaced in that class again. Like, I didn't do a great job in the class because of other things, but man, I learned so much. And yelled. Pretty sure. Died at that moment. At least temporarily. Do you remember reality? Folding around me. Blackness turning to steel consciousness. That moment. Panic. Mr. Harding was pointing. Paper. Already gone ahead. Finished the home. Rest of the classwork. Shot back. Something rose in me. Degree anger? Not described. If you're just joining us, we're going to wrap up in about 2 or 3 minutes on this piece. We're going to have an opportunity to share what we wrote, and then we're going to do one more piece before I take off for today. So just hang out for a second. Thank you for the host, Aoshi-san. I really appreciate that. Um, and thank you, Diocese. I appreciate the host. 82, I shot back. Something rose in me, a degree of anger that I could not describe. Know it today. And Toreishi, thank you for the host. The steel of my soul that does not give in when pushed, pressed, or battered. The core of the man I am today. I studied with Mr. Harding. 2 years. Before he retired. I wandered on my own way to other things. Never let me. And Mr. Pound Sign, thank you. My guard. Kept my nose to the grindstone, as he liked to call it. I studied with Mr. Harding for 2 years before he retired and wandered on in my own way to other things, yet he never let me lower my guard. Interaction. We hammered away. Skilled blacksmith. Forged and tempered. And RBP, thank you for the auto host. Really appreciate it. And Gord, wow. Somebody must have finished up broadcasting, but I really appreciate it, everybody. Thank you for coming in. We're just about to share a piece I wrote, and other people, Udi, thank you. And other people are welcome to share as well. Every interaction he hammered away, a skilled blacksmith who forged and tempered his students. And left a generation stronger, wiser. The one that had preceded it. All right. So, if you have a piece that you would like to share, or if you just want to talk about your teacher in the chat, that's cool too. As most of you know, I'm a teacher myself, and I love reading about thoughts and ideas on teachers. They don't always have to be positive things, but try to keep it positive, given that poor teachers are having a tough time these days. Here's the piece I wrote about my math teacher, Mr. Harding. So, some 30 years after beginning his career as an educator, Bradley Harding had achieved the status of a local legend, not only within the tiny high school, serving some 300 students including the attached middle school, but within the community itself. He had taught not only his current crop of students, but, in many cases, their parents as well. Though he only rose to the shoulders of many of the boys he taught, Bearded and bespectacled, waves of pressure emanated from his gaze as he cast it across the room, silencing opposition, and heads bowed to papers as pencils scratched quadratic equations in perfect handwriting. No less would be tolerated, and it was not for the score students worried, but the twist of that implacable expression into something vaguely resembling annoyance that would precipitate personal disaster. An advocate of long form math, calculators were forbidden in nearly all cases, save those the human mind would fail without, and God help those who eschewed homework for more savory expeditions. Sports, dates, sheer laziness, all met the hammer, and justice was meted equally. His name was whispered with fear that echoed the hallways, edged with a grudging respect. Even the students who defined their image through resistance stepped lightly in Mr. Harding's classroom. Now, as for me, he sized me up in an instant on the first day I met him. Knowing his legend, I raced for the back of the class. There were simply some fights you do not pick, some storms you cannot weather. The instincts that had carried me that far warned me that this was no storm. Mr. Harding was an apocalypse. Get up here, he said, staring down at me through the thin silver rims of his glasses. Your spot is in the front. What's your name? He asked. James, I mumbled, caught aback. Teachers had a tendency to let me go, in the beginning at least. I preferred the art of hiding in plain sight, and that, so quickly, he had figured me out, came as a shock. Mr. Harding frowned and looked at me harder. He turned to one of my classmates. James doesn't seem familiar with his name, he declared. What do you call him? He asked. Smitty, came the sharp reply. Everyone calls him Smitty. Then I suppose I'm everyone too, Mr. Harding mused. Come on up here, Smitty, and take a desk at the front. It's nice to meet you. I returned much the same, though with a glance directed for my friend. There was a level of betrayal in his eyes, though he did not know to what extent. No one did or could. The storm had only just breached. Mr. Harding began his lecture, moving into the use of algebraic form, and my mind, for what it was, began to wander towards more pleasant things. His was the final class of the day, and I considered that an invitation to space. Smitty! He yelled suddenly. I snapped to attention. Dreams of video games shattered as the colorless world snapped back. What's the answer to number 3? 17? I stammered, praying only that the answer was in the realm of possibility. Mr. Harding paused, the silence lingering as he nodded his head, an emperor declaring mercy. Good, he said. Good. I sank into my chair, mind white and relieved. I'd survived another day, and I could think about... Smitty! What's the answer to number 7? He yelled, whirling on me. I'm pretty sure I died at that moment, at least temporarily. I do remember reality folding in around me, a blackness threatening to steal consciousness in that moment of panic. Mr. Harding was pointing at my paper. I'd already gone ahead and finished the rest of the classwork. 82. I shot back. Something rose within me, a degree of anger I could not describe. I know it today as determination. The steel of my soul that does not give in when pressed, pushed, or battered. The core of the man I am today. I studied with Mr. Harding for 2 years before he retired, and I wandered on in my own way to other things. Yet, he never let me lower my guard, always kept my nose to the grindstone, as he liked to call it. Every interaction he hammered away, a skilled blacksmith who forged and tempered his students and left a generation stronger and wiser than the one that had preceded it. Yeah, he's the scariest teacher I ever had, but man, I appreciate the hell out of him. Uh, he was so fantastic to me. Doesn't seem that way, but he knew what I needed. He instantly, and he did it. Uh, Still amazes me. That being said, that's my story. Would anybody out there like to share? I'll give you guys a second to type in the chat if you want to. If you don't want to, which is fine too. If you've been working on a piece, you can continue to develop that and share it down the road. I'm always happy to listen to new ideas. That being said, let's try one more teacher piece. This time, let's try a poem. I've got about 20 minutes left with you guys today, so I think we can do this. Let's spend about 20 minutes, 15 minutes, work out a poem. It can be any form you want, have a rhyme scheme, be free writing, whatever makes you happy. Let's write a poem about one of our teachers, or about teaching in general, as a way to say thank you to those who've come before. I'm going to name mine, the aptly named Teacher Poem! Hooray! It's going to change in the future, but for now, let's work with it. I'm going to throw on a little bit of music. Please join me. And if you want to share something, be sure to let me know over in the chat. Let's give it a shot. What would be a good song? Go with this one. Mean nothing. Pencils mean nothing. Pencils mean nothing when sharpened. Ideas undeveloped. Put to page. Pencils mean nothing when unsharpened. Ideas undeveloped and never put to page. Pencils mean nothing when unsharpened, ideas undeveloped and never put to page. This song is the quietest song ever. I'm gonna change it. It's empty. Backpack. Backpack. Oh, good job, me. A backpack. Thank you. Robbed a voice and abandoned back. They have Pencils mean nothing when unsharpened ideas. I love to never put to page and notebooks empty, devoid. Dropped a voice and abandoned the backpack. What could they have been? I like this so far. Slow. Threadbare shirt. Cut. Chin. The wedges. Alex sits alone in a threadbare shirt, hand cupped in a chin as the world passed. I like this. Should his dream be denied? By the apathetic. Certainly exist. Claim. Things. And I think I can develop something out of this. This is pretty cool. Fallow? Fallow is the word? Let's work with it. No harvest. Certainly arguments exist that claim nothing equals nothing, and fallow land yields no harvest. Farmers still toil. Two. The teacher. There we go. I went ahead and I made a little poem. If you guys are coming along well enough, I'll give you guys another few minutes to develop your piece and do what you're thinking about. While you do that, I'll introduce you to a few of the things I've been working on. One of them is pretty cool. I want to, in the future, I'd like to write a visual novel with everybody. We might even do it about teachers, maybe some issue in the classroom. I've been using Tyranno Builder and gathering assets, and assets mean things like drawings and artwork, to try to put together into this piece. I want to be sure everyone gets credit for the work that they've been doing. More than that, you'll probably see me around doing some games in the near future. I saw Atelier Sophie just came out, I think is the name of it. Yeah, Atelier Sophie. It's a fantastic little story-based game. Love these kind of games. They're not about killing things, they're about creating things. As you can guess with the word atelier, which basically means workshop. Like a crafting workshop. Very sweet little game. So I hope to be around here and play with everybody. Beyond that, I've been plugging away at my novel, which I hope I can show to you without blowing up my OBS. Kind of, maybe so. Yeah, there we go. I've been working on this quite a bit. I'm up to... You can see the number ticking away up in the corner. But if we jump down... We are pumping around... Oh, how many pages? We're pumping around 79 pages right now, written out. I'm super proud of this. And in terms of word count being far more important than pages, we're sitting at about 37,000 written words. Sorry, guys. That's my usual alarm to wake up and get ready for my company class. But I've still got a little bit of time with you. That being said, let me introduce my poem. And if you wrote anything that you would like to share, please let me know. Write it over in the chat. And I'll give you an opportunity to share your piece. Again, you can jump on my Discord and share it yourself, which is super cool. Or you can just paste it over into my chat window over there. I'll be happy to read it for you. You can even yell at me if I read it wrong, which may well happen. Jumping back over to our writing journal. Hopefully that. There we go. The aptly named Teacher Poem. That's a working title. I wrote, pencils mean nothing when unsharpened, ideas undeveloped and never put to page, and notebooks empty, devoid of words, robbed of voice and abandoned in a backpack. What could they have been? Alex sits alone in a threadbare shirt, hand cupped in a chin as the world rages past. Should his dream be denied by the apathetic cruelty of birthright and birthed wrong? Certainly, arguments exist that claim nothing equals nothing, and fallow land yields no harvest, yet farmers still toil to feed their people. And what of the teacher, caffeine-addled and sleep-deprived, who sees the futile struggle of Alex and arrives armed with pen and paper, an oasis of the mind? I think I could develop this in many ways, or it could stand as it is now. I do like the line, caffeine-addled and sleep-deprived. I think that is the story of my life these days. I think yesterday I had 3-4 cups of coffee, like big cups. I'm still alive, though. That being said, I'll give an opportunity out to anybody who would like to share a piece. Please let me know in the chat if there's something you'd like to share. If not, uh, that's fine too. You're welcome to write a piece in your free time, and next time we come together, you're welcome to share that piece. Sometimes people need more time before they're comfortable sharing what they have or developing their ideas. All that matters is that you're trying, and I'm so honored to have you here. Well, thank you for that, Easy Busy. I really appreciate that. Do you happen to have anything you'd like to share? I can see her shaking her head, so I imagine not. Okay. Well, thank you, New York King Blue. I really appreciate you following along. We'll be here pretty much every weekday. Um, and, well, thank you for the follow. That's awesome. Um, yeah, we'll be here pretty much every weekday. You're welcome to come in and write with us, share your pieces. Um, that's what I'm here for. Uh, this whole channel is kind of a graduate school project in experimenting with digital writing and getting people out there in the world to write more. And I think at this time in world history, we need more people writing and processing their thoughts. I'm super happy to have you here. Um, I'm here American time Monday through Friday, but I'm gonna start trying to stream more as my schedule gets a little bit lighter. That being said, if there's nothing you guys would like to share with me tonight, I need to start wrapping up. I've got a company class I need to kind of travel out for. Today is supposed to be the coldest day in Korea this year. I'm gonna die. I don't know. Wish me luck. Regardless, thank you for joining me. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll be around tomorrow at about, I want to say 11:30 a.m. my time, so that would be 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So hard to do the conversion sometimes. Simple, but thank you, New York King Blue. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. Keep writing.